Hi guys, so we are here to actually collect the Lexus RX F-Sport. But before we actually pick up the car, I just want to tell you a bit about the entire Lexus ownership experience because it's supposedly to be on an entirely different level. So let's check out the showroom and show you the finer details. So this is the Lexus flagship showroom in Mutiara Damansara, and immediately as you enter in here, you're already getting a 5-star hotel-like ambience. I mean, take a look around. Everything about this place oozes luxury, but very understated like luxury, just as a Lexus is, right? If you take a look at the decor, okay? The decor over there is almost identical to the Lexus spindle grille. So this is actually engineered to make you feel everything over here is so 100% like Lexus. The tiles, the furniture, and look at this decoration on the wall. This is exactly the same designs that you'll find on the doors of a Lexus LS. How brilliant is that? And if you take a look at the lounge, it's like an airport business class like lounge. So you can sit down here, you can do your work while you wait for your Lexus to get serviced. Of course, there's a cafe, there's an amazing experience. And at one point of time, I do not know how true it is, whether they still do it now, but I know that at one point of time, Lexus only used to hire people from the hospitality industry, simply because the people from the hospitality industry are better trained to give you a better ownership experience, right? Much better than hiring somebody from the automotive industry or somebody who doesn't have any background at all. So I'm not sure whether that's still true, but at one point in time, it did. So anyway, this is the Lexus flagship showroom. Everything about this place oozes luxury. Let's take a look around. So yeah, this is the delivery bay. Very nice, very opulent, if I may say. So, but there's more to the showroom than just this. Go to the other side. Have the keys. Let's go. So within the first 5 minutes of getting into this car, you already notice exactly how well built everything is. Of course, it's a Lexus, right? You wouldn't expect anything lesser. Well, speaking of that, I think the single biggest threat to Lexus, especially in Malaysia, is not about its other competitors from Germany like Mercedes, BMW, Audi, whichever other brand. In fact, I believe that the single biggest threat to a Lexus in Malaysia are the grey importers, simply because of the price difference. They still offer the same grey cars, but sometimes up to 150,000 ringgit cheaper. Yes, as I showed you in the showroom, that you have, if you buy brand new, you have access to such incredible amenities, such incredible luxury. But for some people, they would still rather save the 150,000 and perhaps buy something else rather than have access to all that luxury that I showed you in the showroom. Which I find it a pity, because what's the point of buying a luxury car if you don't have access to all that, everything else that comes with it, right? Well, some people just do not think that way. Doesn't matter. Anyway, about the car, feels great. You have perforated seats, heated and cooled, which is perfect for this kind of weather. And yeah, I haven't had a chance to connect my phone. I haven't had a chance to really get well acquainted with the car. So we'll talk about this more as time passes. Drive it a bit more and I'll get back to you with more of my thoughts. So we've been driving the Lexus RX300 F-Sport for a couple of days now. But before I tell you more about this car, please do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and to click on the bell icon so you'll be notified each time we upload a new video. More about the car. The Lexus RX300 F-Sport, well, it costs a little under 425,000 ringgit, which is a lot of money, there's no doubt. In that same price category, you get cars like the BMW X5, and you get a lot of other cars in the second-hand market as well as in the grey import market. Well, so what makes the car so great then? In this video, I want to tell you 5 things that you should know that are amazing about this car and 3 things that are not that great. Follow us, I'll tell you exactly what you need to know. So, point number 1 on the 5 things that you will like about the Lexus RX300 F-Sport. Point number 1 is the high quality interior. Everything inside here feels very well thought out, very well made. You know, Lexus prides itself in the Takumi culture where everything is hand built. I'm not quite sure whether the interior over here is hand built, but it certainly feels very high quality. Take a look at the stitching. Take a look at the dials. Everything feels like it's going to last a lifetime. You know, the aluminium inserts over here feels amazing. So point number 1, very nice, very high quality interior. So the second point about the Lexus RX300 F-Sport are the seats. These seats are among the most comfortable in its segment. Not only are they comfortable, but they're actually perforated as well. So there's air conditioning vents inside them, and you turn them on by a button that is located by the gear shifter. So they're adjustable in 3 different blower settings, which is amazing for this hot Malaysian climate, right? So comfortable seats, perforated. Not only will they keep you snug, they will actually keep you cool as well. Now we go on to point number 3. So point number 3 about the Lexus RX300 F-Sport are the rear seats. Now the seats are not only comfortable, but the sitting space behind here is amazing. You get a lot of leg room, right? But not only that, the seats, they're reclinable. You adjust it through a button that is located at the side here. So in case you decide to be driven around, this is actually a very nice car to be driven around in. Sadly, these seats are not perforated, but however, they are heated, and you control the heating by a button that is located over here. Why you will need heated seats in Malaysia beats me, but on the plus point, there are 2 USB points at the back here for your charging and such. So very nice rear seats actually, and I love the fact that they're reclinable. So if you want to be driven, or if you want to drive your kids, it's impossible not to get comfortable at the back of the Lexus RX300 F-Sport. So now we go to point number 4 about the Lexus RX300 F-Sport. Now we're actually driving this thing, and we are doing about 100 kilometers per hour. And I'd just like to point out exactly how serene the interior is. It's actually very quiet in here, which is very nice. After long hard days of work, you know, you just want to spoil yourself, you just want to bask, you don't want any noise, you don't even want to listen to music. It's just you and your thoughts. And this is perfect. It's such a nice quiet interior. Now I must say that this is not the most quietest interior in this segment. Far from it actually. But it's good enough, it's pretty nice. It's a very nice place to be in. You know, high quality, nice sound system, very high-tech entertainment system. You know, it all comes together very, very, very naturally. So, and then this perforated seats. I love these perforated seats. It's about 33 degrees outside, 34 degrees outside, and I got this cool air blowing on my back. Fantastic. It's a nice place to be in, there's no doubt. But on the topic about the interior of the RX300 F-Sport, I would just like to go on to add that it's an amazing place to be in. It's so spacious. Even the back seats, as I pointed out, it's such a spacious place to be in. But the boot as well. And then the boot, you know, the back seats, they're electronically reclinable. Just at the touch of a button, they recline electronically. And the touch of another button, they come back into place electronically. You know, such features, you used to find such features in ultra premium SUVs like the Range Rover and such, right? But not anymore. This is brilliant. This is fantastic. It's a nice, quiet place, nice ambience, high quality, and very quiet. I love it. Now we go on to the fifth point. Now, point number 5 is a point where I think is pretty important simply because of the amount of time that we spend behind the wheel of our car. And that is how seamlessly our smartphone connects to the onboard entertainment system of the Lexus RX F-Sport. So, iPhone, right? Now keep in mind that if I were to connect to this USB point over here, this is simply to charge your phone. It's not going to connect to the entertainment system. But if I connect it here, it's going to launch Apple CarPlay. And this is a touchpad as well. So I can touch over here and everything, my podcasts, my maps, my phone, and all my onboard applications are all listed over here. But not only that, Lexus actually has their own onboard application as well. So it can actually give you all your trip information, how much fuel you've been consuming, what your range is going to be like. Now this is nothing great actually, but when you're actually driving, it's so easy to connect Siri, to connect every application to the onboard entertainment system. But not only that, it actually has a booming audio system as well. So what's better than an entertainment system that's not only intelligent, but it has a great audio system as well? So that's what I think perfects the entire Lexus RX300 F-Sport package. That's amazing. Now, however, we go on to the 3 things that I think that are not so great about the Lexus RX300 F-Sport. And we will start with the engine. So the Lexus RX300 F-Sport is a car that weighs over 2 tons. 2 tons! It's a pretty big car, it's a pretty heavy car. However, powering it is just a 2-liter turbocharged engine, 4-cylinder, 16 valves, the works, right? Produces 235 horsepower and 315 Newton meters of torque, which in this day and age, I feel is simply not enough. 0 to 100, 9 seconds. Top speed, 200 kilometers per hour. It's not that great, but to its advantage though, I would say, simply because of how the engine is placed. Notice that the engine is placed pretty far back. That means it's placed right above the front axle. So handling wise, it's pretty nice. So you may not have the power, but you can smoke the competition in the corners. Speaking about corners, it also has a drive mode selector which gives you Eco, Normal, Sport and Sport Plus, or Sport Sharp if Lexus calls it that way. So this of course adjusts the steering wheel, adjusts the suspension, adjusts the throttle response accordingly. However, even so, it's still not sports enough. So that is one thing that I really did not like about the Lexus RX300 F-Sport. Let's go to the second thing about this car which I didn't like. So we come back inside here for the second and third thing about this car, which I think could be better. So Lexus keeps insisting on using this touchpad thing over here, which in a real world situation, it's not very ideal, because while you're using the gear selector, gear shifter, your palm sort of just rubs off on it. And not only does it respond to your palm, sadly it also responds to cables. If you see this, it actually responds to the cables as well. So if you're charging your phone or something like that, and you have your phone here or here, whichever way, and the cable accidentally touches on this touchpad, it's going to completely destroy whatever adjustments that you have on your entertainment system, right? So this, I think, is quite sad, and it's sort of disruptive, counterintuitive. Not that you should be using it while you're driving, but I think it could be better. And now for the third thing about the Lexus RX300 F-Sport is the visibility. This is a pretty big car with long overhangs and such like that. So I found in the past three days of driving this car that sometimes it's pretty difficult to park this thing, simply because it's difficult to judge how long it is. Of course, I think that with more and more, as I spend more time with this car, that would get better as I can judge the length and width of this car probably better. But on hindsight, sensors, proximity sensors and such would make life easier as well. But to Lexus's credit, there's an onboard camera. So if I press this button over here, it actually gives me a 360-degree view of what's ahead. So if I press this, it shows me what's ahead. So there are ways to counteract the visibility issue with this car, but then again, I think time will tell. And if I spend more time with this car, which if you buy this car I'm sure you'll do, it'll get easier and more normal, and it'll be easier for you to predict the size of the car. So that's that about the Lexus RX300 F-Sport. Our take on the 5 great things and the 3 not so great things about the car. So in conclusion, if you do decide to spend 425,000 ringgit on the 300 F-Sport, you're still going to get a very good ownership experience, simply because Lexus aims to spoil you every chance they get. So each time you take the car in for a service, you know that the service center, especially the one at Lexus Mutiara Damansara, the flagship showroom, you know they're going to spoil you. Well, that's that about about owning a Lexus. It's about the entire ownership experience. And even though the car has its shortcomings, but each time you take a seat on a hot blistering day such as this, those perforated seats are going to cool you right down, right? So, and as soon as you get driving, that interior, that silent interior, you're going to really love it. That intelligent entertainment system is going to keep you entertained at every time you get stuck in traffic. So, well, if you don't mind all that and you have 425,000 ringgit to spend on a car, this is a pretty good way to spend all your money. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Kashi Dylan, and this is Piston.my.